Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be drawing dinosaurs, things that roamed the planet almost 165 million years ago. Their reign of terror was over 1 million years. Oh my land, that's a long time. Dinosaurs went extinct about 65 million years ago. That's a long time ago, too. All right, so today we're going to draw a dinosaur. Anytime during the lesson that you want to pause it, stop it, rewind it, you are in control of the video. So work at your own pace, please. Okay, so what I did first today is again, I'm trying to make dinosaurs. I drew some realistic ones and I drew ones that I had fun with. Now this is an iguanodon, okay, but not exactly because I changed some of it. And again, the colors, I don't know what an iguanodon looks like. Nobody does, because none of their skin or their color has lasted. So we don't know what color they are, so you can make up your own colors. But I've seen iguanas, and I know that they're green. I've seen some that do have colors. And I don't know that they had spikes, but I put spikes on them because I've seen iguanas with spikes. Now, I put a horn on one. Probably maybe didn't have a horn. I don't know. Again, this is me being creative, and that's what I want you to do, is to be creative when you create your own dinosaur. Okay, if you want to do totally realistic what others artists renditions were, that's fine too. That's up to you, but this is me having fun. So I'm going to tell you how I went about doing this guy. So the first thing I did is I went online and I found an iguanodon skeleton. Okay, and then I took the skeleton and I traced the outline of the skeleton, so with a Sharpie or something dark so you can see it. And then I put it in the window, and then I took my second copy and I put it over the top of it and I traced it. I just traced the outline of the skeleton. Okay, so this way I knew where I had to build on the outside, where I had to add the muscles and everything else. And that's what I came to this right here. As you can see, these two next to each other, this one's a little bit beefier than this one. This is, you can see I had the stomach in here, and I thickened up the tail and the legs and added some muscles where I think that, his hind legs were. And I thickened up the arms and added some arm muscles. You see there's no horn here, so I improvised adding a horn and putting a bigger lip, because maybe, I don't know, it seemed like need a bigger lip. You could put teeth in yours if you want. So it's totally up to you how you do it. But that's how I went. So maybe you wanted to pick a T-Rex or Brachiosaurus, or maybe a raptor, or whatever kind of dinosaur you want to do. This is how it was an easy way to start out with an outline and then build on it. Okay. Then I did a terrible pterodactyl. I don't like these things. They scare me. Anything that's flying in the sky that's going to come down and pick me up, take me away, and feed me to the chicks, I'm not really too happy about. So, but pterodactyls, I call it an ice cream cone or a cone type animal because it's super easy. All it is cones. You can see there's a cone here for the body. All right, an ice cream cone. There's a cone there, or a triangle shape. There's another one here. The head, back of the head, the beak, the other beak, and then there's this little tube right here, and there's little tiny hands. Okay, so it's a super easy thing to do. So when you start making it, just look at the shape of your dinosaur first. Draw a line in the axis that you want to draw your animal, and then make your cone. All right, and then you can make your cylinder like I did here, and then make your other triangle. Okay, and then your other triangle, and then your head. So once you get all these little triangles, then you can come back and work in the details. But get the basic body, so something you can work with. Otherwise, if you just try starting drawing the head, and then you just start doing the back of the head and the eye, you've made it so big that you don't have room for everything else. So plan, okay? Next. This is one I'm still having difficulty pronouncing, Parasaurolophus. All I see is Parasaur and then Rolophus. Parasaurolophus. Yeah, this is a mouthful of marbles, having a hard time. But I really like this guy, vegetarian. Now the thing that makes him different is the back legs and the front legs. T-Rex arms are a lot smaller. This one here can walk on 2 legs or 4 legs. Okay, so that separates dinosaurs. Some have holes in their hips, and those are the guys that have ball and socket that can stand upright. And some, like the Stegosaurus, only are on 4 legs. I'm not a dinosaur expert, but I've always been fascinated with fossils and dinosaurs. Okay, now this is what I made up. It's a T-Rex stick your tongue outosaurus. All right, so all I could do is some goofy T-Rex with his tongue sticking out. Maybe it's a baby T-Rex teasing an older T-Rex. Okay, and I just made a funny goofy T-Rex. Okay. Dinosaurs come from eggs too. We know that too, right? They think they're related to the bird families. All right, because they say birds are still living dinosaurs. Meh. I don't know, but I like birds too, so we do a bunch of birds in our class too. So this is a Funnosaurus. All right, I started making out a Brontosaurus, and I'm like, he's kind of small, and then I put kissy lips on him and eyebrows, yeah, and pink polka dots. So this is a Funnosaurus, and that's what I want you to do, is make your own dinosaur. Now this one's always been one of my favorite, is the Stegosaurus. Don't ask me why, probably because I like the armor on the top. Okay, he's a vegetarian, so it's pretty laid back to me, all right? So this is the one I'm gonna teach you how to draw today. Okay, do you know the biggest dinosaur weighed almost 80 tons? That's like 40 like little Miatas, or like maybe 20 trucks, and stood over 50 feet tall and 100 feet long. That's like, your house is probably like 40 feet, so it's like twice as long as your house. Maybe 3 times, almost 3 times as big as your house. That's monstrous, all right? And so let's get a new piece of paper and a pencil. I got one right here, and we're gonna start sketching. So the first thing we're gonna do is gonna be super easy, is we're gonna put a ground line. Make a ground line going across, okay? Next, we're gonna put another line going across, but not quite as long. This is gonna be the body of our Stegosaurus. Now draw it lightly so that you can erase it if you have to, okay? Okay, I drew lightly first time, and then next time I'm gonna come back just for you to draw it darker, okay? So I'll be able to see that pretty good. Okay, next we're going to draw the middle of the body. So we're gonna leave room for the tail and room for the head. So we're gonna kind of draw like an N shape or a rainbow in the middle. Now it's gonna be fatter on the ends and then skinnier at the top. So a little bit like this. Okay, when you feel you like it, draw it, okay? Good. Now the tail is a sideways triangle, and the head is kind of like a sideways hexagon. So we're going to start about roughly about here, and we're going to taper it. Taper means it's going to go from fat to thin, all right, and then round it and then come back. There's our tail. Later on we'll blend these in like this. We can do that now. Just blend it in so it's a little bit smoother, and we'll erase these lines later. Not getting rid of those now. Erasing's the last thing we do. Sometimes I don't even bother. I just color over the top of it because this is just a sketch. So, and if I want to do a really neat final copy, I'd outline it and put another piece of paper on top of it. So now we're going to make the head part. Now this is going to come over right about to here. Okay, it's a little bit fatter, and I'm not going to make it tapered because I'm going to put the head right there. Okay? You can see where I said if I made that, it's kind of like a, I guess it's kind of like a weird hexagon. I don't know. It is what it is. Okay, so now we're going to make the head. So it's going to come up for the back of the skull, okay? And then we're going to come down at an angle like this. Looks like a sideways 7. And then comes down this way. And then connects. Okay, we're going to round out some of this later on, but for right now we're just going to leave it as it is. What we're going to do here is we're going to round the back though. Just round that so it blends like that. Cool. Okay, now we're going to make the bottom line for the neck and the belly. Okay, so it curls down here a little bit. Okay, then it comes up. And now we're going to make the belly. Don't make it too big. You don't want his belly dragging on the ground. They are low to the ground, and it blends over like that. So it goes down, up, down, and up. I've got a little bit more room at the end of the paper. I would have liked to make his nose a little bit skinnier. So if you want to do that, you can make the nose a little bit skinnier. And I don't know if you've seen horses and cows. They usually have big floppy noses at the end. All I think of is this is a vegetarian, that he has a probably floppy nose, all right? And probably has flat, square teeth. He doesn't have pointy teeth. He uses his probably flat teeth to grind grass or whatever he eats, water vegetation. Okay, so now we're going to make the armor on the back. Now the armor is super easy. So we're going to start roughly about here. His neck doesn't have any armor, not right in the beginning here, but it's going to start here rather small, then it's going to get big and small. So it looks like a V. If I finish the V right there, you can see the V, but you don't see the bottom of it. So make a V there, and then it comes back up kind of like a diamond, but then at the top just make a little W. Okay, now we're gonna go at an angle. We don't wanna make them all going straight up and down like this. It's gonna look ridiculous. So you gotta kind of go with the curve of the body so everything works in motion like this. So now this next one, again, I'm gonna make another V, and it's gonna be at an angle like that. And then come up and make our diamond, and then make another one. Now they don't have to look exactly alike because they're not exactly alike. This is an organic animal, so you don't want to make it looking like a machine. Okay, so I'm going to make another one. Now this one's going to be a little bit bigger. Maybe this one's a little bit pointier, and then a small W. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to make them bigger and bigger. So don't worry about trying to draw fast. This is where you can pause the video and you can draw along or speed it up or just watch what I'm doing and then come back and do it your own. I always suggest watching the video first and then you can come back and do it on your own so you have an idea where we're going. Again, I'm not worried about every one of these being absolutely perfect. And now I'm going down the back. I need to get a little bit smaller. Now, the thing about these guys at the end of their tail is they have spikes and they swing their tail around like a weapon. So not only does he have these things on the back where things can't eat him from the top, but he also has some nasty looking. Now over here I'm gonna get really small. He's got some nasty looking things. Now to make the tail, all you're gonna do is you're gonna put one little tiny U here and then another one over here like that. Okay? Now the spikes, when you make the spikes, you wanna kind of make one, see how it's kind of curved, and then kind of like it curved back ways that way. All right? And then do the same here. Okay, now he has two on one side of his tail and two on the other. Okay, so on the other side, I'm just gonna put, not at the bottom of it, I'm gonna start at the top of the line and make these a little bit smaller because it's farther away. Same thing on the other side, I'm gonna start on the top line and then make another one farther away. Those are done. Okay, now to make it look a little bit more 3D, I'm gonna show you a trick on the things over here. So all I'm gonna do is on each one of these, is next to it, I'm gonna make a small little W and make it a little bit smaller. But I don't wanna go all the way over, I'm just making them kind of small. Comes in. Now if you wanted to, when you color this, you can make these back ones a little bit darker. Like say if I'm using, who knows what color you're gonna use, that's your choice. All right, I'm gonna use probably some earth tones. I just think because he eats a lot of green stuff and he's hanging in vegetation, he's probably gonna, I don't know, I just think he'd probably be green or something like that. Maybe he's pink, I don't know, we don't know, it's a secret. Okay, it's a mystery. So there's the top of our back and we have our head. Okay, so now we're gonna do for the eye, all we're gonna do is put a curved line for the eye like this. All right. And then make a little small little line like that. So it kind of looks like a football. Now I'm gonna put a little letter C for a nostril. Again, this is where I'm gonna kind of like make that lip hang down a little bit like that. See, it kind of looks like a C and then down. And I'll make his mouth. And then a U underneath it. Kind of looks like a dragon. They are dragons. Dinosaur means terrifying lizard. That is amazing. Could you imagine walking to a cave and seeing the skeleton remains of something like this? You would think there are dragons still hanging around. That's where the whole dragon thing, I think, came about, is they saw these fossils and they imagined that they were dragons, but they were, you know, fossils have been around for millions of years. There's some right in western Massachusetts where they have footprints that are still locked in stone. Over millions of years, the mud turned into rock. So now we're gonna make the feet, super easy. All right, we're gonna come down here and it's gonna look kind of like that. Looks like a V if I was to finish it. And this one here in the front is gonna go all the way down, but not quite because we're gonna put a foot, okay? And then this leg's gonna come down this way. And this foot is just gonna come down. So it looks like a sideways triangle. We're not gonna do a ton of detail in this. I'm gonna teach you how to draw it, then I'm gonna let you draw your own environment so you can create it you want to. So you can put trees in the back, volcanoes, whatever you want. So we're gonna make another leg behind it. So we're not gonna draw the whole leg. All we're gonna do is just make another line that mirrors that one and a little bit smaller. So now you can see his legs in the back. Okay, let's do the other one, front leg. So the front leg is going to be a little bit different than it's smaller. So I'm going to put two lines that run parallel like this. Parallel lines, two lines that don't touch. And this line's going to come forward, so his leg is bent. Now it should get tapered because it's going to be a little bit thinner as it gets to the foot. Broke my pencil, reload, here we go. Got another one ready to go. Okay, this one's going to go all the way to the ground, and then again, small, tiny little triangle. And then we're going to do the same thing with the front foot as we did with the back. We're going to make that mirrored line. Again, this is where, you know, if I'm drawing too fast, pause the video so you're ready to go. Okay, so I'm just going to put a line that goes down the belly. All right, we already have this line, so I'm going to kind of make like an organic line that comes around. Maybe his belly's a different color. All right, like a snake on the underbelly. And then this is where you could put some curved lines in there if you wanted to put some texture, or if you wanted to put polka dots on them. Whatever, it's entirely up to you. Now, the smallest dinosaur is about the size of a chicken. It's called the Moososaurus, or Mosasaurus, but it looks like moose. It's M-U-S-S-U, M-U-S, moose. That's what I say. It's a small dinosaur, Moososaurus. Okay, and dinosaurs probably became extinct because of volcanoes and that kind of stuff too. So and climate change. So I would like to see them, besides fossils, but maybe someday they'll come back. Who knows? But this is it for today. So if you enjoyed this lesson, give me a thumbs up. If you have any comments, you want me to draw something else with you, I will. Just leave them at the bottom of the comments. I hope you're being kind, safe, and helpful. And I think that's it. All right, guys. Take care.